Okay, so I'm on a 2-mile run. I am a little over 3/4 of a mile in, so I just started. My heart rate's staying at around 145, which is about 4 beats per minute slower or lower than my MAF cutoff, or my zone 2 cutoff, which is like right at 149, I believe. Anyway, as you can see, I'm not out of breath or anything, and that's because I'm going really slow. No, that's because I'm keeping my heart rate where I'm supposed to. But the consequence of that is I'm going really slow. My average pace is right around 12 minutes a mile, which is the slowest I've ever run. 6 years in the military, I've never run this slow. Normally my 1.5 mile time was right around 10 minutes, between 9:50 to 10:10, in that range. So, but I would be gassed after every one. I felt like I was sprinting after those runs. So this is a different experience for me. Honestly, the hardest thing about it is keeping good form. I feel like I'm kind of doing an airborne shuffle. I'm kind of dragging my feet, but I'm focusing on good form, breathing through my nose, proper breathing technique. Might as well take advantage of the low heart rate and easy breathing and focus on doing it correctly. But steady does it, I suppose. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So I'm just gonna keep doing this every run and hopefully see a gradual improvement over time. Some things that I believe are affecting this run. One, I ate like right before I left to come out here and run, which, I don't know, and it was a pretty heavy meal. In retrospect, might not have been the best idea. I don't feel like I'm gonna puke or anything, but it is pretty heavy in my stomach, and it's making it hard to keep my heart rate down. The second thing is the last 3 runs I did, I kept my heart rate right around 149, which is the top of my aerobic like threshold for zone 2. And I believe my average heart rate now is probably around 144, so it's about 5 beats per minute slower. And that has made a surprisingly significant difference in my average mile time. So I'm coming up on about 1.25 miles or so. And yeah, it is slow going. So you know how when kids are playing and they scream super loud and it's a little blood curdling? Well, that just happened. And that'll really spike your heart rate. I'm not used to having a heart rate monitor on.
18 minutes, 0.3 seconds. Distance, 1.5 miles. Average pace, 12 minutes per mile.
See how slow that is? 12-minute miles. Anyways, I'm not used to having a heart rate monitor on. I've got this little watch that I bought off Amazon. I'll link it in the description below if you're interested. It seems fairly accurate, and it was only about 40 bucks. Anyway, my heart rate jumped from like 147 to almost 160 whenever that kid screamed. So, something to think about. Sometimes your heart rate has nothing to do with your overall fitness level.
Okay, so run recap. I did 2 miles around one of the lakes close to my neighborhood. As I said during the run, like one of the biggest struggles is keeping your heart rate low enough, because it is like painfully slow. It's a real ego check, because normally, like most of us, I'm sure, I go on a run and I'm really focused on time, and I want my mile pace to be down, and I feel like in order to get my mile pace down, I need to run faster and faster each time I run, if that makes sense. But the MAF method, zone 2 method, is, I guess, kind of counterintuitive in that you run slow to gradually get faster. So yeah, I kept my heart rate right around, I think the average was 140. So it was actually a good 5 to 8-ish beats per minute slower than my max, which is like 148, 149, somewhere in that range, between 145 and 149 probably. And it felt good, like 9 out of 10. Nothing hurt, it was easy to breathe. After the last couple weeks, my joints are getting more accustomed to running. Like I said, I logged about 14 miles last week, and this week I'm up to like 8 or 9. So I'm keeping a training log here so I'll know how everything goes. My average pace for this run was 11:52. So I'm glad there weren't a whole lot of people around to see me running so slow. My wife and I went on a run yesterday, right? Yesterday, and she decided she wanted to do the MAF method too because she's had struggles with like her Achilles tendons hurting while she runs and her knee hurting. So she decided to slow it down too, and she said it felt better. But while we were running, we kept the same pace, and she said every time we passed somebody, she just wanted to explain to them why we were running so slow. Anyway, yesterday's run, we only did 1.5 miles, and my heart rate, and it might have been because of the temperature and humidity, my heart rate was like 145, and my pace was over 13 minutes per mile. So that was odd to see such a big difference between the 2 days. But yeah, something I found is there are a lot of things that can influence your heart rate. The heat, the humidity level, what you've eaten that day, how hydrated you are, how much sleep you've gotten the day before. I definitely need to lock down my nutrition a little bit better. I did not eat well today. My wife made cookie brownies and they're irresistible. And that much sugar is not good for running. So anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, the Little Rock Marathon is first weekend in March, March 7th. That might be the second weekend. Anyway, and I've never run anything even close to that distance before, but it's always kind of been a goal of mine. The long goal, the long-term goal is ultra marathon, like at least 50 miles. If not, one day maybe 100. We'll see. I'm gonna see how far I can get with this MAF method though. Like I said, I'm probably gonna do like 90 to 95% MAF runs and hardly any speed runs. Anyway, I'm gonna try to keep this video short because it's been pretty boring. But I will, my plan is to post weekly. So if you're into it, come back and see what else I have to say and see how I progress. Thanks for watching.